thistles. Isn't that beautiful?
Wow, yeah. You don't often see that. You see them go to seed, but you don't often see them in flower.
Yeah.
We were down at Century last year. And this lass came down, she does foraging. And she was eating nettle seeds straight from the plant.
Alright. That's a bit iron age, isn't it?
Yep.
That encases it.
The thistle, yeah.
Yeah, thistle head, yeah. And you're left with a whitish core, sometimes the size of your thumbnail,
Right.
about year deep. It's high protein. It's like a nut. Like a nut, yeah.
I've been thinking about diet lately. I've talked about leaning towards more plant-based. Having watched Seaspiracy and how much pollutants there are in the sea, and even the fish farms are one of the biggest polluters of the northern coast of Scotland.
It's a feed, yeah, and it's also, you have to remember, most fish farms, the pollutants in the fish.
Yeah.
Heavy metals, mercury, I think, is found in fish farm salmon, isn't it?
Well, the amount of fish excrement that there was getting polluted or getting put into the northern shorelines,
Yeah.
because that's where they're doing a lot of the farming. Apparently that's the biggest polluter.
The costs. You've been here before?
No.
It's a rat, I can't help but slow down.
Well, yeah, I've just realised how much I feel like I rush everything and don't really just take it in, which is what I've learned a bit more about the walks. Just listening to the radio there and talking about, you know, well, they were talking about lockdown and how much of an impact it's had on people to really appreciate the simple things like going for a walk.
You've not been restricted how long you've got to walk for, where you can go.
Yeah. Because like when we talk about change and about transitions, I don't do transitions that good, that well, which I think is quite natural. But it's the fight in the internal, you know, are you running away from your problems?
Fight or flight.
Or are you actually dealing with them in a different way? And just think there's something bigger than me to think about, really. There's everyone else that I have around me. I can feel that I just want to do what I want to do. Child voice.
Yeah.
Whilst trying to manage actually this is better all round. More capacity in your head to think about the things that you want to do.
The maturity as well comes with things, you know, you prioritise different things, don't you?
Yeah.
And you've got a better perspective when you're older. You know. That's my personal experience anyway.
Oh, I think
I've always have the inner child though.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, yeah, it's always going to be part of your internal family. I mean, I've got to admit, since doing the walks and the videos and talking to yourself and finding new routes, just really wouldn't have had that time normally.
Yeah, but there was never a vacuum in your life, though, was there? It wasn't like this.
Oh, well, I should say that I never did the vacuum.
There was always something between those two.
Yeah. I'm a bit of a busy mind, like.
Yeah.
I said that before.
So your mind is sort of like a high performance race engine. Well, mine's probably more of a tractor's diesel.
I don't think so.
I just,
It feels like a
I'm
diesel.
chugging away, you know, keep the legs down, don't put your foot down the yard.
I've always been interested in doing lots of different things. Usually
This is
creative
good, that's healthy,
things.
that is healthy. That's healthy.
Well, now you're knocking on the conscious creativity door thing. The difference between not knowing until you experiment
Yeah.
and actually experimenting.
Well, it's mathematics. You're on about mathematical process for music. There's loads of mathematics with photography.
Yeah.
But the thing is, it's not the golden rule, what you have to stick to with everything. That's when you asked me what system you use, I said the WAG.
The WAG system.
Yes, yeah. Because my light sensor was probably set into something different to what it should be. My focusing sensor might be on something else.
Yeah.
And I just sort of think, look, I just look between those two and do this instead. And sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't.
But that's the. I think it's just like a gradual learning process that goes along with creativity.
Yeah.
And it's, you know, you just pop it on.
Well, the way of digital photography is you can always do it again.
Same with digital music.
It's not spending days developing that one shot.
No.
You could come out today and think, I've ruined it, and come back out the next day and the light's better, you're in a better mood,
Yeah.
and it comes together. That's what I find, you know.
Is that Highcliffe from here?
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah, I get it now. I know just on the top there where you can see the.
You walked from down here somewhere that day, that long walk.
Yeah.
The first one to Highcliffe, you parked down here somewhere, I think.
It was just to go up to the top in the middle there.
You ended up all the way over there, so that shows you the distance. When you did it, I thought, no wonder your knee was hurt.
I tell you what, I thought
you took the long one. Mine's halfway. Look, I was on the boat.
I thought that I wasn't going to make it back.
That's the worst thing, isn't it?
I was like,
it's like
"Ooh,"
Everest,
I was
isn't
like,
it? It's alright getting up, but you have to come back down.
This is the thing. It's just that I don't know what it is about the. I'm sure people out there will know what I think it's anterior cruciate ligament, just in the back of your knee when you're going downhill.
That pulls, yeah.
Oh. Actually, what makes a difference walking on dry ground
Yeah.
compared to some of the walks we've done.
It's also the condition of your clothes at the end of it. I don't know about you, I hate being muddy.
Yeah,
I do, yeah. If I'm muddy, I get muddy, I just put up with it.
I quite liked it, to be honest. I got into it.
Yeah, did you? That state of Mulgrave. I said to you, I said, your lass is going to kill you. He went out all nice, spick and span, ready for a walk, coming back like you've been mining clay.
Yeah. And I went for a stream walk.
And the stream, crossing the stream, yeah.
Nearly went down. Nearly went down because of it. By a slippery rocks, then, like.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to get over to get inland a bit.
I know plenty of walks, strange walks inland as well.
I was going to go do a video of Aysgarth Falls over in Cumbria.
Alright.
It's just a nice little walk up to Aysgarth.
Big old trees here, man.
Mm. You see the rock outcrops?
Yeah.
I'm assuming that they're rock outcrops, at least they aren't as worn away as everything else.
Oh, it's a footpath, isn't it? It's a late spring though, isn't it? They're mostly trees, they haven't...
They haven't really took yet.
The buds are just there, you know, there's no... You just think it's just like a wild growing thing at the edge of a lot of these fields, but a lot of them were planted winter foliage, forage for cattle. They can eat it.
Really?
It's got nutrients in it, yeah. Poison, toxic to us,
Yeah, yeah.
but yeah, it contains certain nutrients that animals can process in winter. I think sheep can eat it as well. You watch there'll be loads of strikes on it saying false fake news, farmers union complaining. Lots of dead rabbits at home.
Don't do this at home. However,
this video.
we're reliably told.
Yeah. You've been YouTube jail now.
Yeah.
Millennia, you know. Ah, there you go. We don't have to go all the way down. Look.
No.
There's nice benches.
Some seats.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, let's do that.
We'll compromise, mate.
We're not.
This is not a mindful walk. This is a compromise walk.
We're not bugging out. Honest. Tree split right down there.
Yeah. Oak as well, isn't it? Oh, I think it's oak. There's some size trees here though, if you look.
Yeah, yeah. Some age with the branches as tortuous as they are. That's an interesting one.
you want a little bit of peace, a bit of solitude, a bit of me time, you know.
It's amazing how much that comes up in the work that I do. What do you do for yourself?
Can you imagine living in the city? People say, I could never live in the country. I could never live in the city.
Yeah.
So who's right and wrong, you know?
Personal preference, how you've grown up, social conditioning.
Yeah.
You were saying there about the analytical brain and about, because I think it ties back into the creativity thing for me, that we lose that thing we were when we were children because of the pressures of life and expectations. And we become more analytical thinkers rather than free thinking.
Well, it's like conforming to the advancements of society at any cost, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know,
And
you
getting
sacrifice yourself is sacrificed for the larger progressive momentum of ever since the Industrial Revolution, really, isn't it?
the economy,
Money, GDP.
the way civilization's structured.
Yeah, and it's
Because it won't be the same in different areas of the world.
no, of course, no, it isn't.
People
That's the disparity about the system. That's why people argue against capitalism. I mean, I'm not a great fan of capitalism, but no system's come up to supplant it for a better way of life. For the majority, there's always costs.
But that's where I think there's that shift of consciousness that's required to understand the things that you think make you happy. But for how long? You know, the materialist perspective.
But it's power then, isn't it? You get to a certain level in strata of society. It's not about the wealth.
Yeah.
It's status and power then.
Yeah.
You know, how many billions does a man need? They don't. It's not about that anymore. You know. You know about ego, you can never find a more egotistical person than some of these billionaires
Yeah.
that manipulate society, funding things for their own perspective, what they want, you know, because they can. They're very powerful people.
Apex predator.
Very much so. You know.
No empathy. Do you think?
Definitely sociopaths. Yeah, definitely. I really do think that because they have a veneer of civilization on what they're trying to do. Say George Soros, he funds open borders and everything else. He's supported NGOs for migrants and everything else. And on the surface, it seems like he wants to help these people out.
Yeah.
But in reality, is he's the same man that nearly bankrupted Britain.
Right.
You know. So you think, well, where's the moral compass? You know, he bet against the pound back in the 90s, I think it was. Shorted the pound and he made billions on it. And he nearly bankrupted this country, you know. Will the world be better if this country was non-existent? Would it? You know. You can argue the institutions of this and that, but I think there's a lot of benevolence comes from this country. You know, I really do. If not the individual, certain organisations, certain movements. You know.
It's the motivation, I think, that we kind of needs questioning. There's the motivation. It's just not always transparent.
No, it isn't. It's a complex thing with these people, and they hide it so well.
Acting out of natural drive, do you think?
Not natural drive. It's not natural.
What, just pure greed and manipulation?
It's good manipulation and power. Yeah. Like I said, they don't need 80, 100 billion pounds. You know. The virtue signal as well. That's another thing. That's a common.
The virtue signal.
Yeah, common.
Look at me. This is how I act. This is how I am.
Yeah. This is really me. Yeah.
But this is just a fascia of what's really going on.
Yeah.
bit like the sleight of hand
Yeah,
magician trick.
yeah.
And then you have this. Got to a point where I'd explored as much as I thought I could do in video, and then starting to ramp up pressure on myself to talk about something of relevance. And then there's your argument with your conscious creativity. It's like, why do you need to have that? What's that about? Why do you feel you need to, fill the time with something when there's plenty of things just to look at?
Yeah.
And film that. The work that's gone into this wall, as an example. The day it was actually erected, what was going on around this space. And I've just been curious about that. When we're going on the viaduct, I just look at it and marvel. The work that went into it.
You think it's brick, and the builder, the equivalent now would be concrete and steel.
Yeah.
So the man hours involved.
And that's it. The man I was involved without the technology.
Yeah.
So I just resolved it to press the button, see what happens. You're capturing a memory, capturing things to look back on. I pity the people that have watched the Lavelle Hills video and gone to sleep 10 minutes in.
Which one's that?
The Lavelle Hills one, Lavelle Hills, where I talk about the parent, adult and child.
All right.
And it's a 30-minute psychology lesson.
I think I've watched a few of yours.
Yeah.
It's 14 you. Is it 14?
I'd love to hear your comments on that one. Yeah, I think it's number 7.
Right.
It's the day I think you weren't available. It was on a Wednesday, and I found this place. I'm going to go and see if I can find these pools. Which
No, yeah, between
Dunsdale
and Wilton Lane. Yeah.
And that was like
I think I've watched some. I mean, I've watched it all. I think I have watched that one.
yeah. I don't want to turn this into a psychology lesson, but and that's it. There's a parent, adult, and a child. But it helps. I think that's the one theory that helps me understand ego. And it's just not one ego. It's like having a family inside your head, all telling you what you need to do. It's really helpful.
The right way, the wrong way, the alternative way.
You should be doing this. You should be doing that.
Yeah.
Rather than I am doing this. There's a nice conversion for you.
As I come up here over the years, you used to always see this like a windy hill.
Yeah.
And people living, is it this house or that house? We would always have the washing line going in the wind. Never used to see anybody. There was always washing there, the washing line. That'd be ideal, that, man.
Wood. Studio. Absolutely. Nice little archways.
Granny flat for his guests.
Yeah. That's me done for the day, I think.
Is the battery gone, is it? Or?
No. Just signing off on another lovely walk in the East Cleveland countryside. Low impact, good exercise, good chat. Bye for now.